Welcome back to Talk of the Town, everyone. Now to end our show, we've got one of our news partners joining us from the South Central Library System. This is Tracy Harold. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great to have you on this morning. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the topic of public library funding. So let's talk about, to start, how are public libraries funded?
Most public libraries in Wisconsin are publicly funded through municipal tax dollars, so property taxes. When you go to pay your property tax every year, a little bit of that money goes back to the library as a department, as a city department.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. And that definitely is something that the entire community is benefiting from. So
Absolutely.
It definitely makes sense that it's incorporated right in there.
That's right.
Now let's also talk about, I'm sure that funding may have changed a little bit in the past years with the recession and then with kind of fluctuating use of the libraries as well.
Yes, so funding has been somewhat stagnant and perhaps has decreased in certain municipalities. Opposing that is the use, which has just skyrocketed.
Oh, has it?
It has. It has.
That's great to
whenever there's a recession, people tend to come out and use libraries because they're looking for all of the services and materials that they were using, and then some. Oftentimes people are staying in town instead of going away on vacation, so they're looking for exciting things to do over spring break or over the summer with their kids and their families. And then we have people who are searching for jobs and who are availing themselves of those services. So it's a balancing act to try to keep providing those increased services while budgets are not very healthy.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of an uneven scale right there.
Yes.
So something I know a lot of folks turn to is fundraising and just kind of reaching out to the community, especially since they are really benefiting and loving and utilizing your services. So could you tell me if you guys do fundraise at all in the South Central Library System?
Yes, so each individual library tends to have some kind of fundraising arm. It might be a friends group who does used book sales and then returns the proceeds to the libraries. A lot of our libraries in the system have done capital campaigns for new building projects or building improvement projects. Some have established foundations, which are very exciting because that's a longer term goal and a longer term investment that gives back.
And definitely a program you can get involved in if you want to, be donating or be helping to fundraise. It's something you can get involved in and stay involved in for a long time to come.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great. And I think a lot of people would be very interested and pleased to hear that there are a lot of ways to get involved or to help the libraries fundraise and get some of those necessary funds to keep those resources supporting this growing need out in the community.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit in more detail about how a supporter of the library system could contribute and benefit their libraries.
I would go directly to the library director and ask how you can give. Any library director will be thrilled to know that you wanted to give. And then they'll let you know if they have a friends group, if they have a foundation, if they just take donations directly. Certainly we at the South Central Library System have a foundation, and you can give to that as well. So if you want to give to all libraries in the system.
And what is the exact name of that foundation then?
The South Central Library Foundation.
Okay, perfect. So it's very easy to remember and easy for folks to get involved as well.
Yes,
very
absolutely.
Cool. Very cool. Do you guys ever put on any sort of specific fundraising events too, like a one-time kind of event during the day or something like that?
It really depends on the library.
Sure, because you guys have so many in your system.
That's right.
So everyone can do something individually as well.
Exactly. Some do fun runs, some do kind of special parties where people pay admission. Some do fundraising book sales. It really just depends on how big the library is and what their fundraising capacity is.
And that kind of just goes back to asking your library director, how can I get involved? What's going on? What's coming up in my library? Because you guys are a large system here in Wisconsin, so I'm sure there's a lot going on in the different communities as well.
Yes.
Very cool. So finally, let's talk about, does the library take other gifts, like an artwork or a collection of some type, maybe that could help enrich the resources offered by the library?
Oftentimes libraries will take some kind of used collection, used books, gently used audiobooks, CDs, DVDs. If they can use any of that for the collection, they will. If not, they may give it to a friends group for resale. Oftentimes it's good, again, to ask your library director what their policies are.
Exactly.
Exactly. Because sometimes gifts come with restrictions that libraries can't necessarily work within. So it's always good to check that out before donating things like that.
But it sounds like you guys are more than happy to, talk with those that want to contribute and see if you
Most
can accept it and
definitely.
put it to use. And I think it's really great that we brought that up, because it's definitely something where if you do have books or tapes and you love going to the library, maybe think of going there first, before just kind of setting them out on the side of the curb or whatever it may be, because there's definitely
right.
people that could still get a huge benefit out of them. So just go talk to
Absolutely.
your director, and I'm sure you can find out lots of things, many different ways to get involved.
Yes.
Well, it was a real pleasure to talk with you today, Tracy. Thank you for
you.
coming on the program. This has been our news partner, the South Central Library System. And that's it for this episode of Talk of the Town. Thanks to everyone that joined us, and thanks to you at home for watching.